remembers what has been going on?
We ran scams, boss.
There was
Yes,
a
you
race.
did. Yes, there was.
Yeah, the horse race.
Space
And
horse.
Yeah.
Tia
Sports.
survived without injury.
Remarkably.
And she didn't win.
But she
Nope.
didn't lose.
All according to plan.
Good job, Tia. You deserve winning.
She's going to be so fucking sore tomorrow.
A whole bunch of muscles you did not know even existed are just gonna be cramped up, and you're gonna like roll out of bed like onto your face because it's like, how do I walk now? I didn't know I could hurt in these places.
She learned how to thump a race in 2 hours and then placed 4th in a race.
So you ran scams, Tia raced, Tia managed to do what Iffy promised. So Ranchi walked out of there with a good bucket of money. And Tia left with a little payment from her new Natolan friends and a new jockey outfit. Because apparently that was important to her. I can only imagine what that's going to be used for in the future. Some of it I don't want to know. Some of it I'm concerned about.
It's not entirely obvious.
It's obviously she's going to race in the future because this is her new calling. She's a natural, all right? She learned how to do this in 2 hours and she placed 4th while also trying to not go too fast.
This is a new Tiasona.
Oh no.
A new Tiasona that is just the jockey for hire. Anywhere and everything. Wait until we put you underwater. Let's see how well you do. But Ranchi was relatively pleased. And you were not able to really catch up with Ranchi after the race because he had to turn to his customers who were various states of surprised and annoyed and everything else by this last minute addition to the race that then lost to several of them pretty good money. So, any of you wanting to like swing by the casino, or all of you just tired and want to go to bed? Because it has been a long ass day for all of you.
Yeah, unless there's something any of us individually need to do.
I mean, I know Tia would want to regroup with everyone because it's been like hours.
Yeah, Tia, the safest place for Tia to try and regroup would be the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, we can head to the ship.
So you head back to the ship.
Ah, yes, the space yacht. The spot.
Spot.
Saturday night, I'm in
Dawn.
the spot.
The Dawn.
The Dawn.
Right?
The Dawn, yeah, the Dawn. The Double or Nothing.
Is that really your name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually not. Actually, as far as ship names go, it's not bad. So never mind.
It's pretty good.
Objections.
It's a good name.
Objections withdrawn. Yeah, it's not a bad name.
So you all head back to the ship, and in the meantime, Vilexa had been hanging out, kind of watching the race through various streams, hearing the commentators, which are third-party commentators, particularly confused and upset. It has been running some data crunching in the background on the data chip that was handed to Kane by Ranchi before he left. Because as far as Ranchi is concerned, that's a Jedi. I need to be talking to a Jedi. So I guess that's the one I'm supposed to talk to, because why else would a fucking Jedi be here? And let me see here. Got to remember to do this. Roll me a d20, please, Piper.
Yes, ma'am.
That'll just be the
I think you have
type
to type it in.
Yeah, you'll have to type it in. /R.
Is it exclamation? Okay, slash. Okay. 1d20. That's a 4.
Okay. So, as you're kind of scrubbing through some more of the information, a little bit more of it is being decoded to where you can access it. You've already discovered that there was some mention of the asteroid Skip 1, which is a kind of notorious, quote unquote, like the proper term for it would be a shadow port, which is just a port that is run by and for the edges of galactic society, not by any official governments. But as you're getting a little bit more information out of it, you can also see, though you can't open it yet, that one of the files on there seems to be a video message of some sort. You can tell that it is a holo that has been encrypted for security purposes, but it seems to be not a super lengthy one, but a good couple of minutes. You also see, let me see here, what you begin to realize are schematics for 2 separate types of ships. The first being a, let's see here. What did I write down this one being? A Theta 2Y transport ship. And the second being a ship that you've heard of, but it's a little odd, called a Manta. You can roll piloting space if you want to try and learn a little bit more about it.
Don't mind if I do.
This will be at 3 purple. This is a rare ship.
Piloting space?
Yes.
And 3 purple. My odds are 50-50. Nope.
Is that only a check by Alexa can make?
At the moment, because you guys are not
Okay,
back quite yet. This is stuff she found out during the race.
cool.
Fucking let me drag my token.
Are you not being? Is nobody able to move their tokens or like drag them onto the page?
I can move mine.
I can't drag mine onto the page. I don't know if I'm just stupid or if something's different. She's gonna be in the lounge.
If I just put it here in the cargo bay for a second, can you move it?
Yes.
Okay.
Couch time.
And you sent out a message to Lissy, trying to get essentially the key for the decryption, because you're able to decrypt some of it because it is similar to decryptions that Lissy has used with you, Alexa, in the past. But it's different enough, and you realize, the fairly logical conclusion, she keeps all of her different informants under different decryptions, so that if something fucks up with one of them, it doesn't fuck up with all of them. So you sent out a message trying to get a decryption key from her. However, you see that the message has been read but has not been responded to as of yet, which is not out of the question of the like glance check and see how important it is, and then if it's not urgent, moving on until I
Mhm.
can respond to it. So you are aware that Lissy at least seems to be aware of the request.
Mhm.
But slowly but surely, one after the other, all of you do make your way back to the ship. I imagine Tia actually makes it back first, as she is not having to deal with the crowds that swarmed the boxes in Ranchi, that all the rest of them are having to kind of work their way through to escape the racetrack. But Tia arrives first, and then a few minutes after, the others trail along behind.
Well, Tia would have fucking grabbed I don't know, a bottle of water, I guess.
You're gonna say wine?
No. Fucking tiring fucking work. She'd fucking grab a bottle of water when she like ship's empty, essentially. And she just chill on the couch. Cause goddamn, she's tired. So she's just lounging on the couch and everyone's trickling in, drinking water. Probably has her fucking tablet out. She's probably playing Pizak.
Y'all are addicted.
Thank you for saying Pizak and reminding me to gain money.
Gotta have it at some point.
How could I forget? How could I forget? Let's see. 200 credits.
Joe, I have a request.
Yes.
Can you make the sound louder? Cause I can't really hear
Well,
anything.
this is just ambient noise. I should actually probably play some like chill music too.
Okay, because I'm like, my brain isn't processing anything. And I'm like, why is it so quiet?
It's hitting the ASMR thing for me because of the like frequency that's at.
Big
do-
white brown noise shit.
Occasional bang.
Hmm.
But all of you do make it back to the ship. Is anybody wanting to do anything particular, or are you heading to bed?
Kane would go to Vialexa to ask if she had finished cracking that secret thing so that he can see it.
So basically, just tell you what Z just went going through.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
if you would like, you can also make the same piloting roll, Kane, to see if you know anything about the mantas. And I forget if I had you roll this last time or not, but you can also roll me a underworld knowledge check
Underworld knowledge.
at 3 purple.
3 purple. So I'll do the knowledge first. I'll just roll it. That's gonna be fine. It's not fine.
You don't remember any additional information in general about this shit?
Are you gonna try a piloting roll, Joe, or just the underworld?
I will try the piloting roll. I wanted to set some music up first.
Oh, very.
Let me see. Piloting. Which piloting?
Space.
Piloting. Alright, and it's at also 3?
Yes.
Hey! A threat. But a
And a
success.
success.
So you hear the mention of the manta, and you see just the very basics of the schematics that are starting to show up in the data package. And at first there is a confusion as you see that there seems to be two separate schematics for the manta. And then you remember, oh, the mantas are considered an extremely versatile but extremely unusual ship because they can actually switch modes and have fairly different capabilities depending on which mode they are currently in.
Oh. And when they switch modes, do they go from like base to planetary in terms of like their maneuvering, or is it like two different modes within space, like combat and?
Two different modes within space.
Okay. Okay.
They are a fairly large kind of X-wing or TIE fighter size. So a fairly large but still a single pilot ship that has two separate modes in space.
Hmm. This is interesting and concerning. So this is some kind of schematic for a one of those as is, or is it like an experimental new one?
You can't tell.
Oh,
With the one threat, that's
strange.
all you get.
Okay, that's fair. Well, thank you for decoding this. I have some findings to report.
All right. I could use some ice cream and a nap.
I I I will bring you ice cream. I can't do anything
Oh.
about the nap.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
He'll do like a two-finger quick informal salute and walk backwards out the door. And he has one hand on his chin and the other hand holding the little data chip. He has a very pensive look on his face, just like concentrating and mulling over some of the thoughts that he has about what Vialexa has told him. Give me like 2 minutes. I have Warmy duty.
Truly the
Kane's
pursuit of
stuck in the elevator.
greatness.
He did not fully understand what he did by giving Claire the
Yeah.
warning. Sorry, what did you say, Amy?
I said Kane is just stuck in the elevator.
Yeah, the
For 2
turbo
minutes.
lift, just like there's some like kink in it that has not been worked out since the last time the ship got shot at.
Mm-hmm. Just elevator music. Oh, rough.
It's Bear again.
Thank
Bear
you.
needs some Xanax.
He is a small dog for being named Bear. He's some variety of like Yorkie, Chihuahua, something in that family.
Mm,
They all
full
need
of rage.
Xanax, so I'm not wrong.
Mhm.
Yep. The Molotov cocktail of anxiety and rage in those small dogs.
Yeah, there's a very big dog in the apartment above us, and there's another mid-sized dog in the apartment below us. So sometimes Bear will see them out for walkies and get very upset.
While Kane is trapped in the elevator and retrieving Vialexa ice cream, what is Vialexa's ice cream? What is her
Cookies and
go-to?
cream.
Is that your answer for all of your characters?
Yes. It is, without question, the best flavor that God has ever created.
False. Rocky Road.
Mm, you're entitled to your own opinion.
But as he is distracted, Kane and or not Kane's on the elevator. Fucking Kana and Iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that the two of you are trying to do?
I don't know if we have anything in particular that we need to do we?
Not at the immediate moment.
Yeah, I think.
Kana.
Oh, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say Kana would want to check on Tia, but I also get the vibe that a certain ambassador would prefer to do that.
We can both do that.
Tia, who
Dude,
has
Tia
made herself
is
a little too comfortable on the couch upstairs.
yeah, like the fucking Ella was here. Tia doesn't know jack shit about like what's happening. She had no clue about the data chip.
Well, she
You lack
actually
so much
did
fucking
know
context.
a little bit about it
Yeah.
because remember Kane dropped off an earpiece with her and was told when he
Ah,
was running back to the ship after talking to her about it.
that was on a phone call, right?
Hmm?
They FaceTimed him. They didn't use the comms.
He would
I
still
think
be
it
able
was
to
kind of
hear.
hand waved.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, either way, she's drinking water because goddamn, she's rethinking her life choices.
Imagine her like half melted onto like one of the arms of like a oversized chair.
Oh, dude, she's 100% like on like the couch, kind of like diagonal a bit, so like her back is against the corner between the armrest and the actual back. She's like taking up like 2 seats on the couch. She's just vibing.
So Iffy and Kana appear upstairs to see Tia in a state of relaxation and exhaustion. Still in the jockey outfit, or has she changed?
Oh, she's still in it. She'll change when she goes to bed.
As they head upstairs, Iffy will call out ahead because I assume Tia has her eyes closed. Hey, Tanala, you're looking pretty comfortable in my living room.
I imagine Tia like just snorts a bit as she opens her eyes and like stretches arms behind her head a bit as she looks up to see Iffy and Kana, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There is a small smile. She does seem like a bit tired, but there is that like joy of seeing people she knows, friends, as she sits up a bit, arms still behind her head, as she like, goddamn, her shoulders fucking hurt as she stretches. He's like, my apologies, Miss Fell. I wasn't aware this was exclusive to you.
Are you sure about that? Because I got like 3 signs that are up all around. Look at that one over there. It says no loitering after 10 p.m. without Iffy around. You see that? Do you know why I have that sign?
I can't imagine why, but it is only 5:30.
Oh no, ma'am.
Oh, I don't
No,
know what time
ma'am.
it is, man. What
It's
time is it? I
fucking
don't know what
late
fucking
because
time it is.
y'all did all of that in like one day because of how
Okay.
everything kept laying out. So it's like fucking midnight.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because everything sounded like it was like a lot, but really condensed.
Yeah. The race didn't kick off until like 9 o'clock.
Oh, I thought it was like a 6 thing.
I
Nah.
also thought it was like a 6 thing.
That's why I was like, it's not that late.
Nah.
Why the fuck is there racing at 9 p? The fuck?
It's fucking casino town. People don't wake up until 2 p.m.
I'm
Let me
people.
get. I don't understand people. All right,
Wrong
so it's like
character.
midnight. Shit, wrong character. Shit, fuck. Fucking 10 p.m. Alright. If it's fucking past midnight, and Tia would just shrug. Like, I didn't see the sign. My apologies.
I guess I can be convinced to overlook your infractions today, seeing as how you did such an incredible job out there.
Hana will walk up kind of behind, like to the side of the two, and pat Tia on the shoulder. Nice job, Scratch.
There's a wince. It's both physical and a mental wince. She'll just look up at Kana and just pained smile of like, thank you, Connie. A bit unnecessary. She flexes her shoulder. There's no need to call me Scratch at the moment.
Well, I thought you were in character. My bad.
Ooh.
If
There
he tilts
is-
her head.
Tia looks up to Kana, dead in the eyes. I don't know what you're talking about, Connie.
Kind of glances at Tia, then to Issy, then looks back at Tia and like, oh, okay, you haven't. In a, like, I understand now. You didn't tell her. I thought you did.
Does she say that, or is that the look?
It's the look.
Okay, because I was about to say, I swear to God, if Kana says, "Oh, you didn't tell her," oh,
No,
my
no,
mistake.
it's the look of like, oh, I thought
Okay.
she was in on it.
Kana woke up and chose silence.
There's just the slightest like narrowing of the eyes from Tia, and she settles back down. A look of just like, no, I didn't. Shut up, fucking shut up, Kana.
Well, either way, you did a very good job. Put on a good show.
I was neck and neck with Triumphia for a good solid bit there.
That was incredible. You should have seen the look on Ranchi's face. It was amazing. I mean, just incredible. The fact that you did that. I mean, you never raced one of those things before, did you?
Hold on.
No.
No, don't worry, Z. I am fully aware that Tia has not. I believe before I said I hadn't. But it was very interesting.
Interesting. It was amazing. I mean, it was like one of those sports hollows Kane keeps making me watch out there. What was it called? Remember the Titans? That? It's just like that.
Jesus Christ.
He really loves that one. I don't get it.
I can't say I've seen it.
Didn't realize you've seen that. It's a good movie.
It's all right.
Right, well, it's only thanks to working with Dahlia and Rigi I was able to do that.
They didn't seem too upset how you placed, right?
Considering they taught me how to 2 hours before the race, I don't think they could be upset at me for placing fourth.
They gave you a cut, right? If I gotta talk to Rigi, I gotta talk to Rigi. I'll do it.
Don't worry about that. But I'd prefer if you didn't talk to them, actually.
Eyebrow raise. Why? You scheming over there tonight? Without me?
Or did something happen?
Hold on, dog's having a nightmare behind me. Hello, buddy.
Oh, Sailor.
Hey, Shelby.
Baby.
Good boy. Say goodbye. Okay. Sorry, he was just getting louder and louder, and I'm just like, I can't let my voice suffer like this. But Tia just shakes her head and, I don't know, glances at Kana at the, like, corner of her eye as she, like, takes a sip of water from the bottle. Like, I wouldn't really call it scheming. I would just prefer contact as minimum.
Well, alright. I'm no stranger to espionage.
Good. Well, I do think I was a bit of a natural, actually. As she, like, stands up. Considering I only learned how to do that right before the race and placed fourth, while trying very hard to not go too fast, I think I'm a natural at this.
If he... Oh, go on.
Oh, don't tell me you're gonna hang up your guns.
I don't think I could do that even if I tried, Connie.
I don't know. The outfit does suit her.
Not bad.
Oh man, how vain is Tia? I feel like she's vain enough to like put on the hat and like mess with her hair a little bit.
Oh, you enjoy the outfit, huh? Kind of casually like shuffles the clothing a little bit.
Yeah, just puts on the hat, just like flips her hair up a little bit. Gives a little bow to Kana and Ivy. Like, it's not just the outfits though, it is skill. A lot of skill, actually.
Oh, you got it in spades. You want me to set you up with more races?
No.
No? Well, I mean, it don't gotta be here. Maybe you want to go swoop bike racing. There's other animals you can race, I'm sure.
I would rather not. I do appreciate the offer. It's very, very thoughtful of you, but no.
If he just is just smiling and laughing. Oh, I see how it is. Oh. At least we didn't get out of that empty handed, and you did crush it out there.
She's going to like step around the coffee table forward a little bit. And she is just going to like fold her like hands behind her head as she starts walking to stand up. Like, I know I did, considering the position I was in. But thank you for telling me. I do appreciate it. You do agree with her, right, Connie?
If he turns to Kana and goes, "You see that? That's confidence. That's wonderful. You need to have more of that, Kana."
I'll be honest, I had to mute for a second, so I don't know what happened. I'm sorry.
No, this is
TLDR.
all accurate.
Yeah, TLDR. Tia is fishing for compliments from Kana.
Okay.
And if he was like, this is confidence. This is what you need more of."
Lana gives a look of like, what is that supposed to mean? But holds that back. looks at Tia and says, "You did a good job."
Was it just a good job, though? I feel like I did even better. Someone even
Oh
say
my
a great
God.
job?
Well, I mean, a great job would have made it a little bit more close, don't you think?
I think she did incredible, especially considering her job was not to get too close.
I imagine Tia was like leaning in a little bit, like hand over the ear of like, wait, can I hear you say it a little louder? Look of offense to what Kanna's actually says.
And Kana 100% is saying that just to not give Tia the
Satisfaction?
satisfaction. Yeah, it is not out of malice at all.
Of
Oh,
course, of course.
of course, no. But I imagine Tia does look offended, but she is going to step closer and just throw an arm around Kanna's shoulders. It's like, right, well, I think that we should. I did hear someone mention ice cream earlier.
Yeah, I think there was some downstairs.
I think we should go and get some, because, well, that is something you do after a job well done, and I did do a good job, despite what you say, Connie.
It is deserving of ice cream. I'll give you that.
Tia, I gotta fucking roll for how childish is she going to be?
Oh god.
Another 14?
Another 14, remarkably consistent on her fucking chaos rolls here.
Let's see. I got a 12. Okay.
Alright. Imagine she is just going to just lift up a finger and just poke Kanna's cheek. He's like, you mispronounced an amazing job, actually. I don't know how you get those confused. It's very different wording entirely. But it's alright, I know what you really meant.
You know, humility's a virtue, right?
Is it? Are you
Oh,
sure?
I don't. I think that's just outside the cluster. I don't. That doesn't apply back home. I'll tell you that for free. Hey, Connor, what's on my schedule for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I mean, we were just continuing to speak with Ricci, I believe. Or Ranchi.
If he nods.
We're still dealing with the Bacta incident.
Right. I got any phone calls early on and nothing?
No, you didn't get any phone calls, as far as I know.
I got no scheduled phone calls, neither.
Kana is like her eyebrow is twitching a little bit. I don't know. I don't have access to your phone. You'd have those.
If he nods. Right. We gotta go for what's that word? Veracity, varsity, whatever it's called. Then she will wave a hand. I think I'm gonna try and get some rest. You just let me know if there's anything I need to know, huh?
Wait, you're not coming with us?
Ice cream is kind of tempting. Aren't you tired though?
A bit, but I do think a small treat would be good. If possible, if you're not going to bed immediately, I can't just bring you up a bowl.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, great. I'll be right there then.
Eyes between the two.
Imagine Tia catches the eyes She's like, all right, let's go, Connie. Let's go. Arm around Charlie's like, we have a lot of ground to cover, considering I don't want all the ice cream to be gone before we can get to it. Come on, step up.
Kana just sighs and walks along with Tia. I imagine Tia still has her arm around her.
Yep.
And Kana's just walking her arms across, like, okay, let's go. You two. It is very evident in her posture. It's like, you two are not subtle. At all.
Tia is just blatantly ignoring that. No, they're really subtle. What the fuck are you talking about?
Smash cut to an hour from now. Kane going, but I'd bring Iffy her ice cream at night.
Oh, imagine as they're walking, though, once they're out of earshot with Ippy and before they get into earshot of Vilexa and Kane, Tia is going to, like, low enough for only Kana to hear. Connie, you know I don't like anyone knowing about my different hats.
Sorry, I thought you would have told the master. Especially if you were going to switch hats with people around.
That's why I asked her not to talk to Regi and Dahlia. Well, technically only Dahlia knows.
Well, at least I know. We can get our story straight here.
Exactly. If they
I
are,
am sorry.
it's alright, Connie, you didn't know. But the story that I decided to bridge the gap a little bit. If he got my name wrong, and I'm a bit too nervous to tell an ambassador that they got my name wrong, and that's essentially it.
You realize that's a bit of a stretch, right?
And you do realize we're not going to be around them for much longer. And the chances of me being here to run into them again are minuscule at best.
Fair point.
But also Scratch. Sorry, good.
It's just, it's like, sorry, she just kind of gives a shrug and it's like, sorry.
It's alright, he didn't know. I could never really be mad at you for very long. Or at all, really. Even if you do call me Scratch, no one calls me Scratch, Connie.
No one except those in your other persona stories.
Exactly, even then, usually I have some other call sign to retaliate with.
Think of it this way. If no one calls your character that, then it's just something between you and I. Easy explanation.
As long as we're lucky. But never mind that. I think I heard that they had at least one flavor. They might have others. We need to hurry before they get the best ones.
Well, considering it's just in the kitchen, I don't think it's that far of a walk.
You underestimate what people are willing to do for ice cream.
She just steps up a little bit, going a little faster. Then let's go.
That's more like it. We can speed walk to ice cream.
I half expected Kana to say yes. And?
So, Kane left Vilex's room. Excuse me.
I'll come with for the sake of ice cream.
But it sounded like he was going somewhere on a mission for more than ice cream, however.
He
Okay.
was going to go get ice cream and then bring it back to you, and use that like interim to like ruminate on his thoughts, and then go after he dropped off your ice cream, as basically like the most like pithy little thank you that he can offer in the moment for like, hey, thanks for decoding that thing. What can I do for you? Well, you want ice cream? But you know what? I'll get it for you. But afterwards he was going to go and privately contact Iffy, or try to let her know his findings. Not Iffy, Lissy. Sorry.
So, I mean, with that, you can have Alexa tag along if you would like, so that there is a meeting of sorts in the kitchen. If not, then
Yeah, I
we
mean,
can follow Kane.
Yeah.
why not? Yeah.
There's... I feel like there is one here. Yeah, the galley.
The Galay.
But Kana and Tia would walk into the galley right about the time that I imagine Kane is like plucking a couple of like frozen quarts of ice cream from the very bottom of a freezer.
Kane did not expect to have 7 different choices, and at this point he was wondering, who bought all this ice cream? Why did they buy all of this ice cream? When did we start eating this much ice cream?
You can never have too much ice cream, Jane.
Fair enough. Fair enough, I suppose.
Especially when 2 more hungry faces appear in the doorway.
See?
Hi
Do you
there.
know who bought all of this ice cream?
Does it really matter?
I
We have
guess
ice cream.
not. That is very true. You are correct. We do have plenty, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm thinking about something else.
What
However-
are you thinking about?
Pause.
Pause. Pausing.
So, Kane just said that there are 7 flavors of ice cream to choose from. However, if he would be the one choosing what is bought. Kira, what are the 7 flavors of ice cream?
Oh wow! What a momentous decision this is.
Total power.
All right. So, if he's particular special ice cream that no one else can touch is like very very dark chocolate with cherry chunks and gold flakes. Why would it be anything else? I think she'd also have, let's see, 7. So that's 1. Let's do mint chocolate chip, Rocky Road, chocolate vanilla swirl. I think she got vanilla because she was convinced that that's what men like. Spicy chocolate. You know, with like jalapeno and stuff like that in it. You know, like a prickly chocolate. And then last one.
Vanilla.
No, I already said vanilla. She thinks men like vanilla.
Oh.
Cherry chunk.
For when Iffy's like craving it but not wanting to bust out the good stuff.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, immediately peeks her head in, sees Kane, and looking through. She is going to pop over his shoulder, looking in. She's on a mission.
He has deposited 2 cartons onto the counter and is still digging for the rest of them. Probably found the good shit, realized it was the good shit, and immediately put it back in the corner.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Could you move over a little bit?
He awkwardly moves over.
Imagine Tia is very, very fast when it comes to ice cream. She sees it all. She catalogs all the fucking flavors. She looks a little bit disappointed. But her eyes land on the vanilla and the super expensive good shit with the fruit and the golden flakes. And she very quickly grabs that and grabs the vanilla.
Grab me something fruity if you can. Tana from the corner, not wanting to get into the mess of in front of the freezer.
All right, fucking has those tucked under her arm. What other besides the good shit is the fruity one?
Cherry chunk.
Cherry chunk. All right, she'll grab that one. She'll tuck it under her arm. She'll give Kane a pat on the shoulder. Thank you. You can go back to your decision making.
Right. Sure. Actually, you know a lot about space-faring vessels, correct?
Considering I'm a pilot, one would assume so.
He blinks for a second, and it takes him a second to process that meant yes, and then he just goes, I might need to pick your ear about something later. If you are free, I don't know what you will be doing, if anything. But not now, just later on.
She squints slightly, not a full squint, just like a slight of like, what the fuck do you? She's still slightly suspicious of Kane. She's like, I can be of assistance later. Depends on what you need.
More of a bit of advice. I'm not a piloty sort. I'm not.
I can see that.
Did I? It looks like he just reset himself from going down a different track of questioning and just goes, it's nothing to worry about. It's purely a curious venture of mine.
Can you be any more specific?
I wanted to ask your thoughts on a schematic of a ship.
Oh, Kane, honey, you should have just said so.
Honey? He shakes his head.
I'd be happy to help you look them over.
Good. Great. Then, yes, later, if you don't mind. I am currently in pursuit of, well, and he gesters to Vialexa. I owe her ice cream.
Oh, well, good luck making your decision. Don't take too long before you have everything thaw out, though.
He looks at the freezer and then just goes, right.
Alright. I'll give him a nod. I'm just like, okay. She's got like 3, pints of ice cream. I imagine they're like little pints tucked under one arm. She gives Vialexa a nod.
Wait, hold on. Kane looks at the ice cream pints that you have.
Can I help you?
I don't want to keep you, but I think you have. I'm not sure you know this or not, but that
I have
one
ice cream.
Pint, yes, but that pint in particular there, the one in the velvet black cotton with gold trim around the edge, that looks exceedingly expensive.
Right, this one.
Yes, that is exclusively for Iffy.
Oh, is it?
He narrows his eyes a little bit. Yes. She would be quite cross if you were to accidentally eat some of it, I'm sure.
She looks at it, and she just tucks it back under her arm with the other 2. Kane, honey, that does depend on one thing. Are you going to tell her I took it?
Well,
I don't think you should.
if she were.
Anyway, have good luck with your selection. I'll see you later for the help with the ship, right?
Who the fuck gave Tia little shit juice today? Because that's all she has been.
Kane, like, baffled and blinks.
She'll start walking. I'll see you later for the schematics, right?
Right.
Hana has like one of her hands on her forehead and is like, as Tia's walking out, Hana will look to Kane. She's like, she's going to get it for the ambassador.
He tilts his head. That makes more sense. Why?
Why do you call her the ambassador? Aren't you guys on a better name basis than that?
I mean, I don't know her very well, and that is her title.
To yourself, I guess.
Kane looks like he is now, like, thinking very hard about something else.
Puzzle pieces are starting to connect, slowly but surely. It'll take another several weeks, but he'll get there.
Right. And now, I have a call to make. And he's going to, after preparing the ice cream, get Lissy on the phone. If she answers, if Lissy is even there. If not, maybe he could leave a message?
Roll me a d20.
An 8?
Are you just like, did Kane go to his like own room and do this call, or is he trying it from like the primary message station or communication station, or how's
He
he
would
going
try
about
to do
this?
it, like, he would try to do it on a personal communicator of some kind, just first, because I assume that would be like making a call on your cell phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he would try something like that first before he went to a communications, like a relay station on the ship. But he's not going to go back to his room. He would like help with the ice cream and then start walking back. And as he's walking back, like start dialing, because it doesn't need to be a secret call.
So you call, and there's just that you can see the signal going out and searching. And it takes a little longer than you would expect, but it does connect through. And there's another longer pause where you're kind of confused as you kind of reach your room of like, okay, so it's connected to Lissy somehow. Why is nothing popping up? And as the door slides open and you kind of step through, there is a very small hollow image that'll pop up on your communicator. And you see Lissy, who, to be frank, looks worse than you have seen her ever.
Master
In
Lissy, are you?
battle armor and her the black robes that she tends to wear with her heavy armor. And you can see them kind of scorched and singed in various spots, and she's holding herself in such a way that you can tell that she is probably injured somewhere, though you can't see where. And you do remember the last time that you saw her, she did have a pack of Bacta that had been essentially strapped to her arm to heal her arm. And there's a few fresh cuts that you can see on her Leiku, which is very rare for her to allow her face or her head to get injured. And she looks tired.
I had no idea that she was going on some sort of war deployment, so this must be impromptu, right?
Yes.
Okay. Kane, like, looks a little aghast at the minute and just goes, Master Lissy, I just made contact with the informant, and I wanted to report back to you. Are you okay? Are you in need of help?
And she kind of blinks at you, and there is less of that kind of quick, you know, there's usually always gears going on behind the eyes. Some shit is always running through her head. And you can see that it's there, but it's slower as she kind of processes what you're saying. And she just kind of lets out a sigh. This emptying Alexa message, yes.
Yes? Maybe? Yes.
And she just kind of nods. And you see her messing with something off to the side for a moment. And you and Vialexa will get a decryption key sent through. And once it pings on your data pad, she kind of looks back. How did the meeting go?
It went well. It was a bit long in some ways, but it ran a bit long in some ways, but it was fine. Everything went very smoothly, all things considered. But are you? I don't quite understand the information I've received from this decrypted file. It looks like schematics, but I'm not able to really parse what it means on my own. Only that it is a particular type of ship.
Mm, she kind of tilts her head a little bit. The decryption key may help.
Right. Is there anything else I should know while looking at this?
She seems to be considering you. And even through the hollow, there's a little bit of a weight. Not unlike the weight that Kane felt when he met her at her compound.
Master
And
Lissy?
she just kind of looks down for a second. Do what need to be done. That Bacta, he's needed more places than no.
How will I know what needs to be done?
She just kind of shakes her head a little bit. Do what Force Guide do to do. If Force
Kane
wills it to
gulps.
get. Force wills you get Bacta. Make sure you deliver it.
He nods. Right. Get the Bacta. Right. We'll we'll keep you posted on how that goes. Good luck.
Mm.
With whatever you're doing and wherever you are.
There's a kind of tightness to her face at that. You can see her kind of glance off to the side that you assume either looking at or listening to something that you can't see. And then she looks back and she gives a little nod. Keep safe.
He nods.
And if he has nothing else to say, she cuts the comms.
He, like, in the same way that you stare at a phone when you hang up, he just stares at the, like, cut communications, the cold communicator. And he has a very conflicted look on his face, but he'll put it in his pocket. And then he'll take his hands and put them over his face and just kind of rub his face really hard. Okay. Okay. And he is going to go take a minute because he's going to go back to his room. And he is going to try something he hasn't done in a while. And he's going to try to meditate. He is just it's very, very it's not like he's on the verge of a panic attack, but he got hit with a wave of anxiety because of all of that, like, flashback to a wounded master, and like the reminder, the grim reminder of like the intense war going on and his place in it. And he is going to just meditate on everything and just think.
Is he trying to meditate to calm himself, or is he trying to meditate to figure something out? Or what is the purpose?
I
Is like, if there's a list, there's a list, but what's the purpose of the meditation?
first calm himself and then maybe meditate to find something out.
Okay. Roll me 2 discipline checks. Or you can choose cool for the first one if you would prefer.
They are
Not great,
I
I'm
will roll
assuming.
them. They are the same. They're not great. They are the same. But I will roll cool and then discipline for the flavor of it. What is the difficulty of this check?
It's going to be 3 for the first one, and then we'll see for the second one.
Go cool dice.
Whew. Okay.
Oh,
Failure, but a
failure
triumph.
and a
Love
triumph.
that.
Okay. Roll me same difficulty, but discipline.
Okay. And his meditation stance is a little sloppy, but what he does is he runs into his room, or not runs, but he'll hustle into his room, close the door, turn around, kick off his boots, and throw off his gloves and take off his like shawl, like poncho thing, and he'll sit in a cross-legged position on the floor, like square in the middle of his room. And then this is discipline.
Okay.
Hey, Kane is very threatened. Is this Kane's room?
I don't remember. It's one
One
of
of the
them.
bigger ones was his. Yeah.
Because I think Vilex's is the other bigger one. Because Tia has claimed essentially the entirety of the downstairs now because piloting.
Pilot, yeah. Very, very good for her.
So you settle down into your meditation and you kind of close your eyes, and that anxiety runs deep. You have not had to confront this directly, really, since everything happened. You've run into dangerous situations, you've run into the realities of war a handful of times. But there's always been that distance that has been maintained, as you know what's going on, but you didn't know any of the people. And the beauty of working as Iffy's guard is that a lot of the decisions come down to Iffy, not to Kane. So you've escaped some of the responsibility. And seeing Lissy, who, while not as powerful as Hylomia was in some ways, was is more of a warrior than Hylomia. It's a very stark and very harsh reminder. And there is just enough of a fear that kind of settles in your gut. You can feel your hands shaking as you place them on your knees, and it's hard to get your breathing quite down to what you know its natural resting rate would be. And that fear doesn't leave. But you're able to compartmentalize it. For the moment, at least. And as you kind of not find the peace that you are seeking, but will your body and mind under control, you start to breathe a little easier, and your mind is continuing to race, but at least you're being able to kind of direct it down the paths you need it to go down. And in the scramble of trying to remember, you have a very distinct memory kind of run through your mind. Memory that you haven't had in a very long time. Remind me how old Kane is at the moment?
I
Roughly?
think Kane is 22.
Okay. So this is back when you were starting to
23.
go. Okay. You're starting to go on a little bit more missions where you had more responsibility. You're not independent of your master, but more dangerous. And you remember going to a shadow port, not skip one, but another. And you remember Hylomia explaining a few things, explaining the intricacies of the shadow port and how to find who you're needing to find without raising too many alarms. And it always comes down to figuring out which individual and, keyword and, which organization hold the largest sway during the given time. Because there's always a gang or a smuggling organization that holds most of the power of the in and out. But there's also usually somebody that is the de facto head of a shadow port. Whether they be part of that gang or completely independent from them. And you realize that if you do need to go to skip one, that is how you are going to need to approach finding information.
Hmm. Oh boy. Okay. Kane kind of comes to this conclusion, and he snaps out of his meditation and leans forward and puts his elbows on his knees and looks at his hands and then lets his hands flop and just kind of stares into the floor for a second and is recollecting his training with Hylomia. And he like, as he is reminiscing about it and recalling it as best as he can, he just feels like wave after wave of guilt or shame, and runs a hand over his face. And he just sits there, like, in the realization of, in this moment, what he has to do and how he has to, in no small part, lean really, really hard back onto his Jedi training, into the area that he kind of, like, fighting is different for him. It is easier to snap into attention when you are able to focus on this aspect that you are reliant on, especially when not in the daunting face of like a Sith. But all of this other training reminds him of Hylomia, and that reminds him of his failure, and that reminds him of her wounded state, and that reminds him of Iffy, and or not Iffy, of Lissy, and like all of this stuff just kind of sends him on this downward drain, like, spiral. And he like comes out of the panic a little bit and then kind of sinks back into this slow drone of like, I know what to do, but I don't know what to do. I know what to do, but I don't know what to do. Or I know what to do, but I don't know if I can do it good enough.
The line is, I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
And he sits in his room with his hand, like, he is facing away from the door. So his head and face and body are pointed towards his bed, back facing the exit. Hand over his eyes, like his index finger kind of pressed against his brow. And he doesn't feel it happen, but he starts to cry just a little bit. And he just sits there.
We'll say that if he is spiraling that hard, that close, Kana, there would be some sense of this.
Oh fuck! I totally forgot about that again.
You always forget about it. How do you forget about that all the time?
Listen, it's
Kane
fun.
hasn't had to deal with it for a while.
True. It's
He's
been
used to being
fine.
able to be angsty on his own.
Wherever Kana has ended up, you get that first like kind of sensation of something being off. And as you kind of pay a little bit more attention, kind of looking around, trying to figure out what it is, at first you feel just a pit in your stomach. Like the bottom drops out. And then after a few seconds, you realize that's not me. That's not my sensations. That has to be Kane's.
And it's a lot of anxiety, not urgency, right?
Yeah, it's more anxiety and panic than urgency.
Because Kana was in her room, and like it was when she was eating her ice cream,
Fucking right
kind of
next door.
chilling. You literally. And she felt that, and like there was a sense of at first like wait. The first thought is like danger, right? But when honing in on it a bit, realizing it's more the anxiety and depression and sadness, she kind of relaxes, or not relaxes, but like sits up and isn't as tense, I guess. And can she try and calm him a bit? Like a mental pat on the shoulder, rubbing of the back kind of thing?
You can try.
I'd like to give it a shot.
Let me see how I want to fucking rule that. That's a thing I've not done before. Let me look at y'all's character sheets.
I guess if Kana calms down, then Kane calms down. Or if Kana feels very calmed, then Kane will feel calmed.
She's trying to be reassuring, but yeah. Just the like, hey, you're not alone kind of thing.
So I'm gonna cut the difference here. You're gonna do a custom roll for me.
Okay.
One yellow, two green,
Hmm.
three purple.
Okay.
Oh,
So as you are reaching out, you kind of close your eyes and steady yourself. And you have to reach into that kind of pit of fear and anxiety to try and reach through to get to Kane. And you do sense that anxiety and that panic, and Kana, you get that rush of sensation of just that bone deep fear for a moment. And Kana has felt that type of fear before. Many times. It is a fact of life of a Jedi. But This is lingering. This is old. Almost festering. But you still reach through and push past, and pain, you feel a sensation even though you know there is no one else in your room. You feel the sensation almost as if somebody somebody that you're close to and comfortable with, is just all of a sudden beside you.
There's a sharp, like, as he feels that, and there is another wave that washes over him, and as quickly as it happens, it is gone. But there's a wave of like, oh shit, I'm not alone. I am never alone anymore. I am like tied to Kana. And again, there's that realization washes over him and passes. A little bit of embarrassment washes over him and passes, and he takes advantage of that comfort and leans into it a little bit, and it kind of forces himself to accept it and pushes past his own embarrassment about getting caught up in whatever he was feeling. And he's gonna start to calm himself down and go back into meditating. Meditating to pull himself out and away from everything around him, to like truly separate, so that he can start to feel more connected to the Force, like he was taught to.
Okay. And then you can make either a discipline or a force check with a blue and 2 purple.
Discipline or Force. And a blue. And a 3 purple?
2.
2 purple. God, so many threats.
Holy shit. So fucking threatened.
Anxiety. Anxiety is strong in this one.
Yes, anxiety is a bitch, man.
True.
Ugh.
We gotta get Kane on some meds and then he'll be fine. You're able to
Success, though.
push your way past the panic and calm yourself for the most part. And though there's still an unease, it's a manageable one. It doesn't feel like it is almost waiting to drown you like before. And you do feel after a few minutes your breath slowing and your heart rate slowing and your muscles slowly relaxing. That comfortably warm sensation of being able to feel the Force, not all around you, but at least feeling it in your own body. Feeling it running through your muscles and through your veins and in and out with every breath. And though you may be a stretch still from the feeling of connectedness that you remember as a Padawan, you remember as a youngling at the temple, you know it's there. Just beyond that feeling that you feel run through your body. You know, if you continue to try, you'll get back to it.
Okay. He is going to hold on to that connection for as long as he can. And just kind of harmonize, almost.
So, we shall turn from Kane. Vilexa, roughly around the time you got settled back in your room with your bowl heaped over with ice cream, you would have gotten a message of very, very simply, very to the point, here's the decryption code from Lissy.
Yay.
Would you have immediately gone to decrypt it, or would you have waited?
Off to work I go.
Okay.
Fueled by ice cream.
So I will
Yep.
say it's going to take
Ooh.
a good couple of hours for the decryption code to fully work, go through the entire program. So you know that if this is the correct decryption code, which you are assuming because it came directly from Lissy, that by early morning it will be done running. Now that you've plugged everything in. So
All right,
that will be
perfect.
waiting once everybody wakes up, essentially. Does Kana remain in her room after Kane has calmed down, or does she go and do anything?
After she's felt that he's calmed down, um, she would. She has the force one, but I still think she would get up and knock on his door lightly.
That probably would startle him out of it.
Once he's calmed, or like after it's been a bit a while, kind of thing. She's giving him time, kind of thing.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. That's why she didn't use the force one, because it's kind of like it's. She's trying to ask for permission, essentially. Like, do you want to talk, kind of thing.
Hmm. So you first knock on Kane's door, right?
Yeah, very lightly.
There's like a moment of hesitation. Kane hears it, and he doesn't startle out of it because there was enough time for him to kind of like readjust and understand, and he'll sit there and think for a second, and just before, like, it's been almost long enough that you would think, okay, he's not gonna let me in. Kane would stand up and scoot his stuff over. Like he very hurriedly took off his boots and gloves and whatever. He would stand up, scooch all of that to the side, and open the door and stand there. Hi.
Okay. Does
Sorry for.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I imagine they both interrupted each other.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about something and realized something, and he does a hand twirling gesture. He just goes, and I got off track. While I was trying to center myself, I wasn't very centered. So, thank you for recentering yourself and myself, ourselves.
I'm glad I could help. Do you mind if I come in?
He looks a little surprised and shakes his head no and just taps aside like, no, please.
I'll walk in a little bit, making sure he's not just gonna slam the door for some reason, you sure? And then step in.
He gestures to a spare chair or the bed, like,
Yeah.
make yourself comfortable. It's not as luxurious as Iffy's room, but it is cozy in its own right.
It looks comfortable.
I try. So what's on your mind?
Kana kinda is not really looking at cannons, kinda looking at the room, and she's she's thinking, and she's like, "Do you enjoy working for the ambassador?"
I do, as weird as it may seem. It's, I don't know, fun. A little strange and hectic at times, but fun. I don't really know how else to put it.
You two seem close.
He nods, and there's a little bit of pride. I've grown really close with Iffy. I respect her a lot, and it took a while for me to see how I could do that. But when you see it, it's very clearly there.
I've seen hints. She's definitely a respectable woman.
Why do you ask? Or why do you mention this, rather?
She seems a little like she's having a little bit of trouble trying to find words, but she just kind of says, "Well, I was just concerned what may have been causing you to feel that way, because you seem pretty happy here."
Oh.
And, I mean, if you want to talk about it.
There's hesitation, and then a little bit of a realization. And he realizes, Fauna, he can tell all of this stuff too, because she's actually, she knows the half of it that was stressing him out. And he seems almost a little bit relieved. And he nods once and says, well, if you wouldn't mind lending an ear, I did come into some useful information from the data that we received from Frenchie.
Lana will nod like she's listening, or as she listens, and move over to sit on the bed, like give a look of like, is this okay? And then like sit down, kind of thing, on the
He
side.
stays standing and kind of fiddles like with his hands for a second, and it's a nervous gesture, more reflective of like nervousness about what he is, as he is trying to put the words together on how to approach saying everything. But he starts with like reiterating some of the high points of what he learned from just looking at the encrypted data flat, like no outside sources, just accessing the data and looking at the schematics and trying to understand what he was looking at. And he describes the schematics and just kind of gives a vague like quick synopsis rather than vague, like a quick synopsis of everything. Not really lagging on any specific details, and then ends that thought with, I was going to ask Tia about it. She's a pilot. I figure that she might have some insight that I'm not privy to. And, well, I thought before I ask her anything, I would want to talk to Lissy herself, because this was her contact, and I'm getting this for her. But, well, things are different on her end. Things have gotten, I'll say, complicated.
What do you mean? She
I don't-
kind of perks up a little bit, leaning in more as he talks.
I don't know the details. I don't know where she is or what her current objectives are, but she is somewhere in some kind of conflict, and she looked very, very hurt. Still up, still going, but in her armor, with her cloak, and very much with a serious affect about her. After the signal got through, I was a little surprised that she even answered, given the condition she appeared to be in, but, well, she did. And I asked if she needed help. But she more or less conveyed that we have our duties. We have the Bacta to find, and other people to help. Her place is there, and our place is here for the moment. And, well, going forward. And Kane looks a little anxious for a second, and you can feel like that neural path start to fire as there's just in his own mind flashes of these traumatic moments that I don't know if only he can see, but I would assume only he could see at this moment.
Yes.
Yeah, but these traumatic flashes, and he closes his eyes and focuses in deep breaths for a minute, and then continues and says, where we go on skip 1, when we get there, and what we have to do, It's going to require a lot of tact and cunning, and it will be a lot like what I did with Hylomia. A lot like it. And I was afraid that I might not be able to do what I used to do. I mean, even though I still do it with Iffy, I suppose, but it feels different. It feels familiar in a way that doesn't feel good. But yes, that was more or less what happened. That's all. Just a quick call and an even quicker assessment of what needs to happen and what will happen and what I have to do. Just struggling with being able to do it. If I'll be able to do it. And his eyes are looking kind of down, not at Kana, but just down into the floor at her feet.
So Kana listened really intently and was processing everything that he was saying. When he brought up Lissy, she got a bit more tense. And hearing that she was injured pretty bad, or it seemed pretty bad, her hand kind of clutches the bed a little bit, the bed sheet. And she's trying very hard to stay level because she's trying to be here for Kane in this moment and be a pillar for him. But that is a little bit difficult as she tries to push down her own anxiety at that during that particular part of the conversation.
And I will pause you here for just a moment,
Mm-hmm.
just to clarify one or two things. Of would still be as distressing as you may think Kana would react. However, Kana has
Mm-hmm.
had more experience with Lissy being injured
Mm-hmm.
and being in tough situations than Kane has. Kane has only seen her going out to and coming back from missions on a handful of occasions because she is not his master.
Yeah.
Kana has seen her end up in a Bacta tank before a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a little bit more common for Kana, but this is also a moment where Kana is further away from her control and her aid than Kana has been before.
Yeah. And the reason why she's a bit more tense about this is because of the visions she had previously.
Mm-hmm. Just making
Um,
sure you have the full context.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's more of like her thought process because she hasn't had much of an opportunity to really think about it since our conversation with Lissy. But the visions that she had were very concerning for her, and they have kind of been sitting in the back of her mind. She wanted to talk to Kate about it earlier, but it just never seemed like a good time. Um, but yeah, so she's trying to focus and be more of a rock king in this moment, kind of pushing her anxieties down for the time being. Kane, out of anyone here, you're the person that has the most experience with this. I did I DC?
No.
No.
Oh, where was saying I DC'd for some reason. You have the skills and capabilities to do this. And if it helps in some way, don't think of this as as a mission that Lissy has given you. Think of this more as helping the ambassador. You're helping the ambassador progress her career and her status.
It's not necessarily about status with Iffy. It's more about. Well, never mind. I see your point. I see your point. And he seems somewhat quelled in that moment.
And you're not alone in any of this. Everyone on this ship is here to assist in any way they can with their own unique talent. It's not just you.
I don't know if Hana can hear Kane's thoughts in this moment, because they're incredibly close together and having like a very, very sort of intense conversation. But if she could, at the comment of "you're not alone here," there is a reflexive, like a knee-jerk response that Kane doesn't kick out in a sort of like "I want to prove you wrong" sense, but in that dark voice in the back of your mind that wants you to be anxious. That little voice pipes up right then, as soon as she says you weren't alone, or just after she says you weren't alone in this. And that tiny little voice says in the back of Kane's mind, you weren't alone before either.
Oof.
But Kane listens and tries very hard to focus on how at this point things are different. And they're prepared and experienced and more adults. Or more adult-like, I should say.
like I said, I know you're more than capable of. We wouldn't have been asked to do it if Master Leslie didn't think we could.
He nods. You're right. You're very right. So, we'll figure it out. We always have.
Together.
And he looks up and meets Kana's eyes for the first time. Well, not for the first time in this conversation, but for the first time in a good chunk of this talk. Together. Thank you. Again.
She'll stand up and kind of move closer to him and go in for a hug.
He hesitates for a second, and then, like, there's a mental shake of the head as he disregards that anxiety and just he'll step in and hug Kana.
Anytime, Kanan.
He smiles. But he doesn't say anything. He just hugs.
She'll step back and kind of saying that he seems better. We'll step around him a bit, kind of like moving more towards the door. Random question.
Tilts his head.
Like as
What
she's
about?
kind of stepping out, right? When you spoke with Master Leslie, did you notice anything in the background?
He thinks about it. Correct me if I'm wrong, GM, but he thinks about it and shakes his head. No, nothing in particular. Why? Like what?
D20, 20.
Chaos roll.
Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it.
We are so reliant as dirty TTRPG players on dice to decide everything for us.
Ah,
I was just curious on if maybe you recognize some of the foliage or anything like that.
No. Why? You weren't planning on going there, were you?
Even if I wanted to, I don't think I could.
He nods, a little half certain. Well,
She
can't say that I do know any of the, I can't say that I do recognize any of the foliage there. Unfortunately.
mm, that's fair. Okay. She was going to leave, but she kind of pauses at the door and then closes it again. During the incident with the Paramount, while I was in the Bacta, I saw things, very concerning and worrying things.
What things did you see?
Well, first of all, it was strange to navigate, and there were bits and pieces, but I saw Master Lissy in a fight, or at least what I assume was her. It didn't look like it was going well at all. It was very bad. She was in a forested area. I I just am worried. The more concerning thing about that, though, I saw Coruscant under attack.
Eyes go wide.
Yeah, not just a small little skirmish. No, like practically ruin. And the Jedi, they were they weren't. The temple was ruined.
Just sure this was Coruscant, that it was the Jedi Temple you saw being besieged.
Nod.
I see. Well,
It was. Master Lysias said she thinks it's Force visions. And I should get some sort of teacher for it. What I saw isn't 100% certain, but even just the slightest possibility is
concerning.
nerve-wracking.
Maybe we can find someone who's more suited to interpret your visions. I don't think I'm quite qualified for such a task.
True. It's it's a bit comforting having someone else know, though.
He blinks and nods. Yes. Yes. I agree.
I really want to get to Coruscant to let someone higher up know what's going on. What I've seen. Give some kind of warning, you know?
I can understand why. We'll figure out what to do.
Yeah, I just hope we can get this mission sorted and taken care of so we can move on.
He nods. We'll get it sorted.
She kind of, she doesn't have much more to say on that. She's a little awkwardly standing there, kind of thinking quietly. But after a minute or two, kind of like, I should leave you, let you rest.
Right.
Sorry.
No, it's quite all right. And if you need to talk for any reason, you are welcome to come by. Just knock.
The same always goes for you.
He smiles. We'll figure out what to do.
Yeah, it'll all work out.
Perfectly timed slamming noise as she steps outside.
He nods. Good night.
Okay. So the Jedi have had their conversation. Is there any particular conversations that our last pair needs to have?
Would you like to talk about stuff?
I'm trying to think, like, what, like, need. To be talked about.
Yeah, I don't know about need. I do think they would just talk for quite some time.
Yeah, like ice cream time.
Definitely not suspicious ice cream time.
Yeah. I feel like
Oh, hey, where is the ambassador anyway? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
yeah. I feel like Tia would spend ice cream time and talk. Probably tell Iffy, well, I will say, just to have it on the record, as soon as Iffy opens the door, Tia is going to hug her. It's a pick up and spin. It's very, very sweet. And then she's going to procure like 2 things of ice cream from her bag that she has snuck out of the kitchen. And by that I mean she just went to go and grab it.
And was sus about it.
Why was she sus about it? I don't fucking know.
Pretty sure at this point Tia's default state is sus.
Yep.
It really is. Can she just be normal about something? No, she can't.
I'm begging you to be normal about this.
No.
Tia, Shaydress, I am begging you to be normal about this.
The answer is no from both of them. But no, I feel like
Amy's default character. Can you be normal? No, I cannot.
That's not... Dude, I'm not normal. You expect my characters to be normal?
The only one that can manage to kind of be normal is Paige.
That is like the worst fucking kind of being kind of normal.
Kinda normal.
Kaya can't manage to be normal. Button definitely can't
No.
be normal.
No. But I imagine it would just be very sweet, and Tia would talk about like Gala and like riding that thumper and shit, and it's just like her experience there.
Does she ever want to ride a thumper again?
Mixed feelings. Was it fun? Yes, it was. Does she know it is a countdown until she wants to die? Yes, she also does. Like, she is aware of that. I feel like she would express to Iffy, while they're just like, I don't know, chill, cute, eating ice cream, talking time. Express to her like, hey, if I need to ride an animal again, I can. I've learned that skill now. Do I want to? No, not really. Are the animals kind of cute? Yeah. Is it really fun at the time? Yes. Are my shoulders and tailbone already getting sore? Yes, they are.
If you're going to volunteer me for this bullshit, you can at least ask me next time.
Yeah. Fucking ask me first.
If he is listening very intently to all of this, is very into big gay hug, will, throw her arms around his shoulders the whole night. This is all very homosexual. And when she's talking about not wanting to raise thumpers again, and to be asked next time, that those are terms if he can agree with.
Okay, good. Because, like, can she? Yes. Will she? If she has to, sure. She just wants to be asked, not voluntold.
Very, very fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he would agree to those terms, she might try to explain her situation at the time. But
Oh.
I think she would overall agree.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I think I know something Tia would want to ask Iffy about.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Because, oh. Because, like, she's about to go and help Kane with something after ice cream time. Later. I don't know what the fuck he meant by later. Whatever.
I think
But
that is
I feel
largely
like
dependent on how long ice cream time is and if Tia just conks the fuck out before she moves.
I imagine ice cream time is like an hour because it's already late.
Mhm.
Enough time to decompress and recharge with some sweet ice cream.
You mean to tell me you're only gonna be incredibly gay for 1 hour?
She's going to she's going to take a
does have
break
an
to talk with
engagement.
Kane. She's professional. As if she's not gonna go back to Iffy's room right after, like bedtime. But I feel like once Tia's gotten a chance to like gush and talk and complain and just chat about the day and shit, she would, in like a lull in the conversation, I feel like she'd ask Iffy about Kane.
Huh.
Yeah.
What would she ask?
What'd he do?
Was he bothering you?
I feel like after like a spoonful of ice cream, because I imagine she grabbed vanilla for herself.
If he would have said something about that, that's for Kane. That's the man flavor.
The man flavor?
They can't handle complexity. It overwhelms them.
Oh man, Tia would have explained what her favorite flavor is. It's butterscotch.
Mm-hmm.
if you note that down.
Suspicious amounts of butterscotch ice cream appear the next time we go to the store.
Yeah, vanilla's the closest thing. I feel like after like a spoonful of ice cream, it's just like halfway done.
Do you mind if I ask you something?
You can ask me whatever you like, TT.
All right. How exactly did you and Kane meet again?
Well, I was at an art show. I mean, this was the first time I ever saw him. He was just milling about, womanless and lost. And I myself was accompanied at the time, but I had the thought that he looked like the sort of fella who, well, you ever just get a good feeling about people? I had one for him. Like, I should go over and talk to him. He was a bit like seeing a puppy somewhere, really.
And did he start working for you immediately after?
That was, well, that particular incident was before I had to leave the cluster. But I hit him up, you know, afterward. I was in pretty deep need of friends, as you might imagine.
And how long has he been working for you?
Yeah, pretty much since about a week after I left home. Like I said, he was the first person I called. Which, now that I think about it, it's kind of weird because I did have a lot of contacts. A lot of people I could have gone with, but he just seems like the right guy for the job. We've been palling around for a couple of years now.
Hmm. Do you know why he left the Jedi Order?
Now, he don't know why I left the cluster, so I don't know the specifics about why he left the order. I try not to pry. As much as I like to tease the guy, he is kind of sensitive about that. And I don't like to actually upset him. I just like to ruffle his hair a little bit, you know?
Wait, he doesn't know why you left.
No. I don't know if anybody here knows why I left. There were, I mean, he knows there were rumors, but that's about it.
Interesting.
Was he giving you some kind of trouble?
I don't think he's capable of that, if I can be honest with you.
if he if he will laugh, he can surprise you. There's a reason I've held on to him this whole time. He's actually really good in a scrap.
I can assume so. He does seem very capable.
Oh, he's crazy capable. I mean, you should have seen this guy. There's look, the only time I've ever gotten got is because Kane wasn't there with me. If Kane's there, then I'm as safe as can be. Nobody's getting to touch a hair on this head. Can guarantee you that.
She just takes a spoon of ice cream, pops it in her mouth. There's like the slightest like twitch. You make him sound incredible. I can't wait to get to know more about him.
You know, if you really do want to get to know him, he's super into hollows. I mean, like crazy into them. Did you know, for Life Day last year, I got him a little projector for his room?
Oh, that's sweet of you.
You should have seen him. His eyes lit up. I've never seen him so happy.
I'm sure he would have loved to get a gift from you.
If he tilts her head, I'm getting the feeling there's something amiss here. Did he make a pass at you?
Tia just turns to look at her. She's like, "What? No.
No.
If he did, I didn't see it. And even if he did, if he's not really my type."
Well, I don't know what you would find appealing in men to begin with, but I don't know. He's big or whatever.
Oh my
He's
god.
only an inch taller than me. Like, Tia just like holds up a hand right above her like forehead. She's like, "He's only an inch taller than me. If he's not that much taller."
If he just looks at Tia for a second, and there's a second of just silence as she's studying her. Oh. Yeah. You know, I guess he is only about an inch taller than you, huh?
At least from what I can guesstimate by being near him.
So, why are you so interested in him? You didn't. I mean, you seem perfectly happy to tease him just as much as I do before.
I'm going to be talking to him later, helping him out with something.
If he pouts, you're not gonna leave before I fall asleep, are you?
Unfortunately, I do need to get there at a reasonable time.
Extreme pout.
It's just a pat on like Iffy's like head, just like smoothing out her hair a little bit. It's like, "I'll be back later. I just do need to look at those schematics for him, see if I can pass anything. I just wanted to know a bit more about him."
Well, he's about as reliable a fellow as you can get. To be honest with you, I'm worried that if he ever does meet any other Havens, if I take him back, you know, if by some miracle I manage to get back home, well, I'm worried somebody's gonna scoop him out from right underneath me.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Oh, I don't know. He does still have a touch of that vague restlessness to him.
Does
And
he?
yeah, I mean, let me tell you, one of the things I've learned with Kane is that when you're trying to figure out where to eat, you do not ask him, nor do you ask him what he wants to eat from the function when you get there. You have to order for him or present him perhaps two options, because otherwise he's just going to stand there trying to figure out what to do. But he's like that with everything. I just think, I don't know, it's like he's at this important spot in his life and he's trying to figure out which Kane he wants to be. Part of me worries that the best possible Kane ain't one that works for me. And, you know, I really want him to have a good life.
You are far too kind. If I don't think he would want to walk away from you. He seems to be pretty attached to you from what I can tell.
Oh yeah, we're best pals. And I don't know if anybody else would quite indulge that many movie marathons, but they're growing on me. I'm learning a lot about culture outside the cluster that way, actually.
That's sweet. I do think I know what you're talking about with his. What is it? Decision paralysis? He was stood outside of the freezer, staring at all of them.
Yeah?
Very long. I had to cut in front of him actually to get the ones I wanted.
That doesn't surprise me. You see, that's why I only have one man flavor.
If I don't think, I'll tackle that another day.
Choose your battles. Choose your battles. Wise.
She's choosing her battles. She's like, you know what? Another day I'll tackle that. It's like, I can at least say for certain, typically men do like more than just vanilla. But we can get to that later.
They like meat too, right? They don't make meat flavored ice cream though.
Oh, boy.
We'll talk about this later.
Right. I don't want to keep you if you do have something else to do that's more important than spending time with me, I guess. I suppose I can play Pizzac for a couple hours, but I'll be counting the minutes.
That's not going to be that long. I just need to look over some schematics. And you're acting like as if I'm going to be gone for the entire night. For hours.
Well, even 1 hour is too long. We can't spend any time together out in the day.
I think today was a bit of an exception, being across the city for a good chunk of it.
Iffy just tilts her head knowingly.
What?
Well, you know what I mean. Even if we're standing next to each other, it's not the same.
If it's not going to work, I am going to go and talk to Kane.
Iffy will pout the pout of acceptance. Oh, all right. You tell him I said hi, though, okay?
I'll think about that.
You'll think about it.
And she just looks at Evie and just like tilts her head and just like,
I have been up here a while. Or I'll think about sending the message at least.
If he narrows her eyes a little, she understands that there's something amiss here. She also understands that she's not going to get an answer. Choose your battles. Choose your battles.
Choose your battles.
choose your battles.
But I will be right back, as quickly as I can.
You promise?
I can assure you that... Oh?
If he holds out her hand with her pinky extended.
I imagine Tia is currently just like putting back on her jacket as she's saying,
I can assure you that I'll try my best to get back... not the pinky.
Eyelash flutter. The pinky.
What if it takes us forever to go over them?
It takes us forever to go over them, you said?
yeah, like what if it takes us forever to go over the schematics?
I believe we can alter the terms to as soon as you can.
Alright. That is, I guess, agreeable.
Flipped pinky. Pinky promise.
When Tia goes in for the pinky promise, Iffy will pull her slightly in for a goodbye kiss.
Dog.
Aw. Aw. Fucking
I feel like Tia just can't help but like smile. And there's like this slight flush in her cheeks as she pulls away. And I feel like she would just dive in just for a quick hug before she picks up picks up her ice cream container, because she's not gonna fucking leave her ice cream. She's gonna continue eating it. And she just like waves a hand at Iffy as she starts backing up towards the door. It's like, all right, I'll be back as soon as I can.
And I'll see you then.
Right. She'll leave. She has to go find a fucking cane to get the shit over with. So she's kicking herself. Why the fuck did I fucking promise to, or agree to do this shit tonight?
This sucks. I want to go be gay.
Exactly. She's going down to fucking find Kane.
I gotta go find this man.
Okay. So, is there any specific conversation the two of you want to have, or do you just want to get the information?
Kane would just want to get the information. He doesn't have anything that he needs to talk to Tia about specifically yet.
And Tia would also want to get this shit over with. She'll be nice, sort of. Well, this weird line of like nice and helpful, but also suspicious as fuck that she's walking. But yeah, she wants to get her mission over and done with so that she can get back to Iffy and to go be gay.
Okay. So, roll me a 3 purple space piloting.
Hold on, Tia rolls. Oh, whoops. I just deleted my character sheet. That's not good. Here it is. Piloting space. You said 3 purple, right?
Yes.
Oh boy, here we go. Wait, hold on. Do I council? Do I use light side point? Or do we
I
Ain't
think
nobody
you
else
should.
gonna use them.
Okay.
Yeah, go,
I'd like
fucking do it.
it's hit upgrade ability, right?
Yes.
Okay. Upgrade. Let's go. Ouch.
You've known the exact
she's-
same shit.
Yeah, like nothing gained. Unfortunate.
Except exact same shit. There's supposedly 2 modes. It is a 1 pilot vehicle. The only thing, because you are the pilot, you would know that they do not have hyperdrives. Which means they cannot jump. They would be a type that usually you would have to have attached to something else or carried by something else to get it from one place to another.
I imagine she's like eating her ice cream as Kane pulls up the fucking schematics. And he's
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Space Invader. But she sees this, she's like, yeah, she shares this as she like finishes like the last of her ice cream. She's like, oh, no, there is this one thing I know about them. They don't have a hyperdrive. And she shares that, and she's like, yeah, nope, that's all I can really gather. Like, are we done? Like, can I go now? She's just scrounging up the last of it. Hello? Is anyone there?
Joseph?
Oh, hello.
good.
Sorry.
Oh, so it was just total silence, and I was like, what?
Yeah, Tia asked if she could go now.
Yeah, like, am I dismissed? Can I go now?
Kane nods and just like he's feels a little bit defeated, but nods and just goes, "Yes, thank you for trying. Well, for your help, thank you." And Did you eat all of? Did Iffy eat all of that ice cream? Did you eat all of your ice cream? Did you put it back if she didn't want it? You know what? It's not my business. It's fine.
Really not, but I'm sorry, did you say something?
No. No, it's just... Well, I'm concerned for Iffy. And her ice cream. But if there's
Oh.
nothing to worry about, then there's nothing to worry about. He says, testing.
Why would there be anything to worry about?
Bro. I don't know why there would be anything to worry about.
She's on a ship with people working either with or for her. There really is no reason to worry about her.
Kane, like, stops fumbling for a second and just closes his eyes, finds his center, and just goes, "What is your intention with Miss Iphigenia IFL? Are you an informant?"
Kane, I'm a gunslinger and a pilot. I'm here to work for her. For her. To earn money.
Is... Kane reads your face. And then I imagine he's sitting down. At,
Oh,
like,
they're
a
sitting
desk.
face to face like at a table or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
And he takes his elbow, like, kind of props himself up on his elbow. And just goes, "I'm going to take you at your word. But if you hurt Iffy, I will be very cross with you. And we will have to work that out."
I imagine Tia shifts in her seat so that she leans back in her chair. Where Kane leans forward on his elbows, I imagine Tia leans back in her chair and then throws her arm over the back of her chair. Not in a avoiding way, but in a very carefree manner. As she just tilts her head, and there's a small smile, kind of smirky a bit, but it's very small. Kane, why on earth would I want to hurt someone who's paying me? You do realize that that'd be counterproductive? If anything happens to her, I won't be getting any money whatsoever.
His eyes still scan your face, and he nods. Very true.
So as long as I'm employed by her, you have nothing to worry about.
Right. So long as you're employed by her, then there's nothing to worry about. It just doesn't quite sit right with me. Like you're leaving something out.
Am I?
Are
Okay,
you?
fucking deception check, bitch. I was gonna let it just slide, wait for the am I?
It's funny because I wanted to talk to Kane about this very subject today.
Oh, that'd be very fun. Deception.
Let me see here. I'm gonna roll an oppose
So,
check.
just so you know, I'd like that conversation queued up, please.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
I have information to give you guys that I need to give you
You
all.
No.
of all
Dude.
people, you know the rule of if you have something to give us, we are going to roleplay for at least 2.5 hours before you get to do anything, ma'am. You know the rule, cardinal rule.
Fine, you guys are gonna have another session that's gonna be very short because I can't make any plans without giving you guys and getting information from you in
You
return.
know the rules, and so
And so-
do
Do
I.
I?
roll the deception check? What do you have
What are my
competing
purples?
at?
I'm trying to look at Kane's sheet, you motherfuckers.
Okay, I was waiting for you, but Joe was like, hurry up. And I was like, bro, I need my purples first.
It's gonna be deception against based on Kane's sheet. A purple and a red.
1 purple, 1 red. Oh boy.
No, you cannot use a light side point on this
I
one
know,
because you got.
I know.
I'm
Dude,
spicy now.
I'm aware. Okay. I already used 1 for my bullshit. Not. That was actually plot relevant, actually, that I used a light side point on. Oh boy. Here we go. 1 success! 2 threats.
Man, Kane, you are 100% certain that she is hiding some shit. You don't know what, but she is hiding some shit. Between last conversation and this conversation.
Yeah, I'm Kane. Kane is just too suspicious of her, but are you hiding something? I don't know, am I? Kane just narrows his eyes and will roll back in his chair and turn off whatever data slate or whatever and just be like, thank you for your help again.
She will smile and sit up from when she was leaning back in her chair to grab her like little pint of ice cream. It's like, of course, I'm happy to help you. Let me know if you ever need any help in the future. We are co-workers and allies. So don't hesitate next time.
He opens
She'll
his
stand.
mouth and just closes it, nods.
She'll stand up and she'll make her way out. Passes Violex in the hallway.
Nope. Vilexa will just have to be the start of next term because that's gonna be another conversation. And I was wanting to info dump you guys 5 minutes and then go to bed. It is past our ending time by 40 minutes.
No.
So we will have a Vilexa conversation. I guess you guys will make a decision based off information that was given next session, and then that'll be the end of next session. So that I can actually
What are you talking
prep
about?
shit.
What are you talking about 40 minutes? It's only 11.
I usually get you guys to stop sometime around 10:30.
Nope. Not allowed.
How the fuck do I spell this?
Been sitting here trying